In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to handle your network marketing business without your upline's support. Hey guys, Mighty Johnny Mo here, coming to you from my office in Nairobi, Kenya. I help millennials rise above their financial circumstances and dominate in the affiliate and network marketing industry by unraveling the secrets of attraction marketing. If this is your first time here and this message resonates with you, do consider subscribing and smash that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Make sure you watch till the end, because I'm going to share a bonus tip that will spice up your game and help you grow your network marketing business. So enough said. How do you grow a successful network marketing business without any support from your upline? One of the single most important skills you can learn to grow an online business is how to effectively resolve conflict. There is something I learned in an exclusive training years ago from Rich Dad himself, Keith Cunningham. If you don't know who Keith Cunningham is, he is Robert Kiyosaki's original mentor and the source of a lot of the teachings within the best-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Keith has a wealth of wisdom, having mentored thousands of entrepreneurs over many decades. And while this might seem strange, one of the first things he taught was a philosophy for resolving conflict. This method works in all aspects of your life, from issues with people in your business to conflicts you may face with your upline, downline, crossline, friends, and even from your lovely family. After all, truth is truth. It was never meant to be pretty, but savagely effective. So what works in one aspect of our lives may very well work in other aspects of our lives also, if you're looking to grow an online business. But I also noticed that there are some aspects that don't work as well in my business. And without naming names, in this one family-owned business, the brothers who own it don't see eye to eye on certain things, and when it comes to discussing those things, they clash. In response, Keith very frankly said, if you're having conflict around a certain problem, it's because the problem is too small. So as long as the problem stays small, there's no opportunity to work together. When you're in conflict with someone, you're having a tactical conversation as to what tactic is right, what tactic is wrong, and the problem is too small. If you elevate the conversation to what you're actually trying to accomplish, what's the bigger thing at hand that you're trying to accomplish, then there is room for alignment. And when you are aligned, then it makes it a lot easier to discuss potentially contentious topics, because you both focus on the bigger vision of where you are going, as opposed to focusing on the rightfulness or the wrongfulness of the particular tactic you're discussing. If you think bigger, that tactical conversation now has context and there is the opportunity to work together. So long story short, the key to resolving conflict, I believe, is you want to elevate from tactics to an alignment of vision. That's the basic idea, because tactical conversations will always lead to conflict. And what I mean by tactical is, for example, when you say something like, what's the right way to produce leads? Is it talking to friends and family? Going on social media and prospecting your friends on Facebook? Is it going to them in the malls and public places to cold prospect? Or is it running paid ads to grow an online business? Whatever it may be, we can have arguments as to what's the best way to generate leads all day long. But what you're trying to achieve in the long run. What are you trying to achieve in the long run? Is your big goal to create financial freedom and impact thousands or possibly hundreds and thousands of lives? Because there are numerous options to achieve this goal. I will go with a long-term strategy such as YouTube SEO, as it will allow me to reach people and impact lives. But then again, so will cold market recruiting. So when you look at it from that angle, how could you possibly be right or wrong? Does it even make any sense? Based on a stated vision of impact hundreds and thousands of lives, obviously there are a lot of tactics that could fall under that category. So it's not actually a conversation of this is the best way, because as long as I'm accomplishing something that's leading towards my vision, then there is room for dialogue. You may not be doing the same exact things as someone else to grow an online business, and that's okay. Your upline might be using different strategies, but ultimately, if you're both bringing people to the business, what difference does it make? Always ask yourself, what is the ultimate outcome? Whenever you're in conflict, say, I'm going to elevate this conversation even more. There are some strategies that I learned from the Landmark Forum, and one of their teachings is discernment between operating in the realm of right and wrong versus what works. Most of us human beings were taught to believe and not to believe certain things blindly. We were conditioned to see certain things as right and other things as wrong based on what society deems acceptable. You know, good versus evil, right versus wrong, light versus darkness, yin and yang. It's that dichotomy. That's how we understand and see the world. Therefore, our conversations are structured in this aspect. The problem is when you accuse somebody of being wrong and think you are right. You are inviting you are begging trouble to come your way. Because there's absolutely no way to have a conversation about what's right and wrong, or what's true and untrue, without making the other person defensive. You're always going to create conflict if that's the dichotomous realm in which you operate. Now, let us understand that it's very difficult not to talk in this way. It's very difficult to avoid saying to somebody, no, that's wrong, or no, I don't agree with that. Because we all have the beliefs as to what is the correct way to build a business, raise children, practice our faith, or even play sports. We all have an idea of what's right and wrong. Those in sports like baseball, basketball, or football know that every single coach has their own unique style. And you've probably also noticed that when commentators elevate their conversation about a particular coach's style, they don't say, is it right or wrong? Instead, they look at how well it works. Why? Because the end result is what matters most, right? So if you're having an argument with your upline or any other person for that matter, you need to elevate the conversation and say, what are we really trying to do here? What's going to allow us to move towards our big outcome? Essentially, what's actually going to work here? This is shifting your focus from right or wrong to what actually works. When you propose an idea like, I think what might work towards achieving this outcome will be, end the conversation with an idea you think might work. Gives solution. Project the big vision and resolve the situation so that you can have a discussion as to what can get you both where you want to go. In other words, a plan. And when you have a dialogue around proposing ideas, now a person's guard comes down because they are no longer on the defense and they become open to your ideas. What you're doing is changing the conversation so the other person is no longer trying to be right. In other words, it's not a battle of ego. Always remember that the goal here is to avoid compulsion, if you can, to be right. Avoid your compulsion to win an argument at all cost. It is unwise. Instead, focus on the end goal that you're trying to achieve. Rather than trying to win an argument or trying to be right in that moment, say, okay, let's take a step back here. What is it we are trying to move towards? Then align around the big vision, what you're ultimately moving towards. Elevate the problem, if you will, as Keith Cunningham says. Okay, so let's look at it from another example. What if you're not getting any support from your spouse? As an online entrepreneur, be careful of your expectations in your business. You might be thoroughly disappointed by the fact that your spouse may not be as supportive as you expected them to be. Don't try to convince them of anything, because when you are trying to convince somebody that something is right over what they believe is wrong, what are you doing? You are pouring oil over the fire. Do not invite trouble. Be confident in your work, while acknowledging that you respect their position. And if they want to learn more about it, then you invite them to learn more about what you're doing. But avoid the conversation that paints the right and wrong scenario. Help them to see what you're both moving towards. What's your joint big vision? Is it to have a retirement, buy a bigger home, pay off debt? Try to get them on board with your long-term goals. What about if you've upset a family member or someone on your team? Again, when you operate in the realm of right or wrong, you keep problems small and you fight over the little things that don't matter. Forgiveness is a big part of fixing this problem. Come into the conversation with forgiveness and just be open to say, I want to know what the issue is here. If I did something incorrect, then please, I'd like to learn and become better in regards to this issue. Be diplomatic in your dealings. Remember that the point to all of this is a positive outcome. You're not trying to be right. It is difficult, but do it even if it is uncomfortable. Keep the big picture in mind. Forgive and move past the small stuff. So here is my bonus or parting shot to you. Keep your eye on the prize. When you say, I think this might work, and propose your idea in that way, one doesn't feel threatened. Instead, they might go, oh, okay, let's see how that might work. They switch their mind to analyzing what you're proposing from a what works standpoint rather than hanging onto their ego. Don't get your hopes up. They still might not agree with what you're doing, but at least they're going to be more open to hearing you out. The skill of elevating the conversation can go a long way in avoiding conflict with your family, your upline, and help you develop a strong team. So, question of the day. Which point about handling your network marketing business without your upline support resonated most with you? Drop it like it's hot and let me know in the comment section below. Guys, that's it. I hope that has been helpful to you. I want to invite you to a thriving community of home business owners that will help you get your game on point. A tailored step-by-step guide will get you from struggling to consistent lead flow just like that. And we all know what that means, right? Sign-ups, sales, and cash flow right into your business. Imagine attracting the perfect customer versus spamming, pitching, chasing, cold calling, and getting rejected. Isn't that something that you will welcome into your business from here on out? Check out mightyjohnnymo.vip. We will help you to position yourself as the leader, expert, and authority, build solid relationships, create a community of raving fans, and gain that trust. So what are you waiting for? I hope to see you grow. I hope to see you soar like an eagle. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.